Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got a fun video for you guys today, kind of a casual video. We are going to be going over makeup brands that I tend to overlook. Whether I'm walking through my drugstore or browsing through the Sephora or the Ulta website, there are some brands that just don't ever seem to really catch my attention. Some of them I have reasons why that is, but most of them I really don't know why I overlook these brands. But whatever the reason is, I want to share them with you guys today. I'm going to give you a forewarning. This is a very long list. I have 22 brands on this list, both drugstore and high-end. So we're going to go through them quickly, and I want to issue a challenge for you guys. If you think I am missing out from something in some of these brands, please let me know. Heaven knows I need to be enabled to buy more makeup, but for the most part, I feel like there's probably really good stuff from these brands that I just haven't caught on to yet. I just can't keep up with it all, so I'm going to ask you guys for a little bit of help. I think it's going to be fun. Hopefully you guys are excited about it as well. Before we jump into the long list of brands, I want to give a special welcome to those of you that are new visitors here at my channel. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you do, make sure that you subscribe before you leave. Also, if you want to be notified each time I upload a new video, make sure that notification bell is turned on. With that said, let's just get right into our list. Alright, so I've got my notebook right here, got my glasses, I'm sure we're going to need those. Let's just get right into it. Why don't we start with some drugstore brands? So I'm going to start with the two brands that came to my mind very first. These are kind of the brands that inspired this video. And the first of those two is the brand Almay. I don't know what it is about Almay. Forever, I have been very uninterested in this brand. Perhaps it's the fact that its section in my drugstore, whether it be my Walgreens, my Walmart, my Target, it's very, very small, so it's easy to overlook. I don't know what it is, but this brand just seems really uninteresting to me. The only thing that I've ever really been intrigued by, and this was really because of a recommendation from some other YouTubers, are their Lip Vibes lipsticks, which I do think these are really good. I think the packaging of these was really fun and kind of different for Almay. Is it Almay or Almay? But other than that, I don't know that I've tried much out from them, if anything, and I don't know that I really want to, so let me know. Am I missing something from Almay? They've been around for a long time. I just, for whatever reason, have not ever really gotten into the Almay brand. Second brand, kind of that goes right along with Almay, is Neutrogena. Now Neutrogena, they are a brand, I did have a foundation from them that I loved a long, long time ago. It was kind of like right at the beginning of my days where I actually started wearing foundation, which ironically was not until I was like in my early 30s. I don't even remember exactly what it's called. I think they still offer it, but it's the one that's supposed to be a dupe for like the NARS Sheer Glow, I think. I remember liking that foundation, but I haven't tried it out. In fact, right now, I don't think I own anything from the brand Neutrogena, if I remember right. I think I have heard a few people rave about like a random blush here or there, or product here or there. But again, Neutrogena is one of those brands that has a very small section in my drugstore, and it's easy just to overlook it. Their packaging's not all that exciting. They don't have a lot of products to offer, and they don't seem to have a lot of new releases, but let me know, am I missing some staple products from them? I just have never really gotten into it. Another brand I tend to overlook, and this is a brand that's not completely unfamiliar to me at the drugstore, it's the brand CoverGirl. When it comes to the main brands at the drugstore, CoverGirl is one of the ones that just does not excite me very much. I know that they did kind of rebrand more recently, but even then, I just never really got into trying out some of their newer or older products. I do really love their concealer, and I actually do really like their lipsticks as well. I think I have a couple of those, but other than that, there's really not much from CoverGirl that really sparks my interest. I have had a couple of foundation fails from them, some somewhat recently, and then some way back from like when I was in high school. I had some really bad experiences with their old foundations. Remember the ones that came in the tubes that were like hourglass shaped? Oh, that's not an hourglass. I'll put a picture of it right here. So CoverGirl's another one that I don't really stop by when I'm checking out what's new at the drugstore. I'm never all that interested in CoverGirl stuff. Am I missing something out from CoverGirl? Because I know that they do come out with new releases more often than some other drugstore makeup brands. And I do think that they make one of the best concealers at the drugstore, especially if we're talking like bang for your buck. Their undercover concealer is really great, but other than that, I don't know. CoverGirl just doesn't do it for me. Another drugstore brand that I tend to overlook, and this one I know exactly why, it's the brand No. 7. Now I have heard some really good things about No. 7 products, particularly from you guys. I think several of you have recommended their concealers and foundations, but No. 7 is one of those brands. Number one, I can only get it at my Walgreens in person. I don't go to Walgreens all that often, and when I do, they are kind of a pricey drugstore brand. And I think that's just enough to keep me from trying out their stuff, and they're just kind of unfamiliar to me. I know they're a lot more skincare focused, like their focus is not on like the creative part of makeup. They don't have a lot of color products. I don't know, do they do eyeshadows? I don't think they do. Most brands that don't do eyeshadows very often, I tend to skip over those ones, which really says something about me. But I know there's a lot of people that love No. 7 products, so let me know again. I know I've heard from some of you before about the No. 7 products that you love, but let me know again down below. Is there something that you really think that I would love that I should try? Keep in mind, I am getting a little bit older. I'm finding myself to be more and more picky with the foundations that I like, and also appreciating really good foundations, where like 10 years ago pretty much any foundation would work for me. But I kind of think my older skin might appreciate a more skincare focused foundation, and maybe number 7 is a place I should look for that. So we'll see. Maybe one of these days I'll jump on the number 7 bandwagon. Okay, one more drugstore brand, and this one I don't know that I consider drugstore because it kind of is more high-end price, but you can buy it at Target, and it is the brand Winky Lux. This is a brand that's kind of newly piqued my interest. The biggest thing that has piqued my interest about this brand is their packaging. The boxes that they come in, their little display at Target. This is where I was introduced to Winky Lux, was at my Target. Their packaging looks so adorable. Their products are very pricey. I mean, they're truly like Sephora priced, which I've mentioned before is always kind of hard for me to get behind when I'm in a Target. To pay Sephora prices at Target just feels wrong to me. But looking online at some of their products and like the reviews on some of their products, they seem to get really good reviews. So are any of you guys big Winky Lux fans? Have you tried out several of their products? Let me know like a good place to start with Winky Lux, because this is one that while I've overlooked it a lot, it's one that I kind of have an interest in. So that's gonna do it for drugstore brands. That was only 5, which means that we have like 17 high-end brands, which probably doesn't surprise you guys that much knowing me. But let's just get right into them. We'll kind of go in alphabetical-ish order, starting with the brand Buxom. This is a brand that I feel like I do have some interest in, but I don't know why I have not bought something from Buxom before. This is one of those things that I think I've had, like their lip gloss and their blushes. Remember, is it the Wanderlust blushes? The ones that everyone was talking about like 5 years ago? I've had them in my cart before, so I kind of felt like in the back of my mind I have tried out this brand, but I actually haven't. Clearly there's something about this brand that I'm talking myself out of, but let me know, am I missing out? I know the Buxom lip glosses are kind of OG favorites here on YouTube. I don't know, when it comes to my lip glosses, I have found a few high-end ones that I really love, like my Fenty or my Persona glosses, and I feel pretty content with those, so I just don't feel the need to try out a Buxom lip gloss, even though I know it's a holy grail for a lot of people. I also kind of feel like the Buxom blushes that I know a lot of people love, that a lot of people were talking about a long time ago, I just feel like I kind of missed the train on those, and maybe now it's not worth going back and trying them, because maybe my money would be better spent on newer things. But let me know, am I missing out on Buxom? Next brand is Clinique. This is one that I often overlook. Once in a while someone will start raving about a product from Clinique and I almost buy it, but I just never quite can make myself do it. I kind of think Clinique, and there's a couple other brands that I feel similarly about, but it's because it's been around for a long time, and I used to view it as like the brand that my mom would use or like fancy older people would use, so it's always felt like an old lady brand to me. I'm sorry, I know that maybe is offensive. I mean, I'm kind of an old lady now. I'm like in my 40s, but I haven't quite got over that kind of mindset with Clinique. I think I tried out some of their skincare products when I was younger. I didn't really like them very much, and I just have kind of moved on and not been all that interested in their products since then. Another high-end brand that I overlook, and this one I'm kind of surprised by, is the brand Bobbi Brown. Now, when I was in high school, I wished that I could buy Bobbi Brown makeup. I think one time I bought like a foundation stick from them for some sort of special occasion. I might have bought it before prom or something, and I felt so fancy using that Bobbi Brown foundation stick. But then I kind of grew up. I didn't really get into makeup for a long time, and ever since I've gotten into makeup kind of in my early 30s, late 20s, I just kind of have forgotten about them. I know they've had some good products released since then. They have some good old staples that I think a lot of people have loved for a long time. I just still have not tried anything out from Bobbi Brown. Am I missing out? This is a brand I think if I really did some digging, I could convince myself to try a few things. But sometimes I think I like that there are brands that I just don't consider because it helps the wallet a little bit, I'll be honest. I mean, I can only buy and try so much makeup, but maybe this is a brand I am missing out on. I have a sister that I know loves Bobbi Brown's makeup. Honestly, I just don't know where I would start with Bobbi Brown. So if there's one thing from them that you think is just the best thing in the world and totally worth the investment, let me know down below. Next brand is CoverFX. I think I did have one thing from CoverFX, like a single eyeshadow. I might still have that in my collection. This is a brand that's mildly piqued my interest, but never enough for me to kind of jump on board and try out their products. I did look online in preparation for this video, and everything on Sephora's website from CoverFX, I think it was Sephora, maybe it was Ulta, I can't quite remember, but I think everything was discounted, which is always kind of a red flag to me. I don't know if there's maybe something going on with CoverFX, like maybe they're discontinuing or rebranding, which makes me feel like maybe this is one I should just kind of let go of, but let me know. I know there are some of you that really love this brand. Next brand on my list is the brand LC Cosmetics. Now, this is kind of like a brand that I don't hear a lot of things about, but once in a while I'll hear really good things. I think especially about a foundation. I don't even remember exactly what foundation it is, but I've heard some really good things about one of their foundations. I don't even remember exactly who it is that has raved about this brand before. It might be Alanorama, Jamie Page maybe. This is kind of a pricier brand. It's kind of up there with like Dior pricing. So not out of my price range, but one that I just feel more comfortable just kind of not even paying attention to because again, so much makeup, so little time and money. What do you guys think about this brand? Is this one that you guys have tried out? out. I know it doesn't seem to be a more mainstream brand, but I know there's some people that really love their stuff. Another brand that I kind of think I overlook a lot is the brand Estee Lauder. Now I do have a foundation from them that I love. It's one of my very favorites, the Hydra Rescue Foundation. But I feel the same way about Estee Lauder as I do about Clinique. I kind of view them as like older lady makeup. Again, I hate to say this, I don't mean to offend anyone. Just like I said with Clinique, when I was 15, I would think I was the older lady. As you get older, you don't really lose that mindset. Like, you don't realize you're old until ever, I don't think. I've just kind of always viewed Estee Lauder this way. I also think with the brands that are kind of like skincare fusion makeup brands, they're a little harder for me to like get excited about, because I like more makeup focused brands, or they're the ones that I tend to get excited about. And I kind of feel like this is why Estee Lauder has kind of slipped under the radar, because it's kind of like skincare slash makeup, and they don't come out with a lot of new releases, especially when it comes to their makeup. So it's just been easier for me to kind of ignore them, but let me know if you guys think I'm missing out on something. Next brand I tend to overlook is the brand NARS. Now I did just purchase my first full-priced NARS product, their light reflecting foundation. I really love this stuff. I know a lot of people love NARS makeup. I do have 2 bronzers from them, both of which I love. I have a couple of single shadows, but all those products I got at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, so I didn't really buy them full price. NARS is just one of those brands that their price tag just really tends to push me away. I don't know why there's certain brands that I can spend a lot of money on. I mean, for heaven's sake, I have some Pat McGrath products that were a pretty penny. I don't even think NARS is quite as expensive as Pat McGrath, but I just have always kind of viewed NARS as like not worth the money, move on, and I haven't really given them a chance. So let me know if you guys think I'm missing out on some staples from them. I know they've been around forever. They've been a favorite for a lot of people for a long, long time. And I know they have a lot of products that a lot of you guys probably consider holy grails, so let me know what those are down below. Maybe I'll reconsider NARS. That is a brand I think I can maybe eventually get there with. Next brand I overlook, and this one I don't know that you guys can really talk me into, it's the brand Kylie Cosmetics. I feel similar about Kylie Cosmetics as I did with KKW Beauty back when it was a brand. I don't know what it is about the Kardashian kind of branding. I just can't really get behind. The marketing and all that is just very, very like, it's just not very me. I don't know how else to say it. It's way too cool for me, and I just feel like an outsider in that makeup, which is so stupid because it's just makeup. Makeup is makeup. But again, I think it's one of those things that sometimes I think I'm looking for something to keep me from wanting to buy something in effort to save myself some money. Do any of you guys do this? Play these little mind games with yourself? But that's how I feel about Kylie Cosmetics. I mean, their products aren't super expensive, but I also heard once that their products are made in the same lab as ColourPop. Did I hear that right? Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I've always kind of thought, well, I'll just go buy ColourPop makeup, it's cheaper. Next overlooked brand is the brand Laura Mercier. This is a brand that goes way back, kind of back there with MAC, with NARS. This was a brand that I think a ton of people used to rave about at the very beginning stages of the YouTube makeup world. I just never really got behind this brand. I think because initially they were outside of my budget. I do have a highlighter from them that I picked up at a Marshall's that I really am enjoying a lot. It's a great highlighter, and I think this is a brand a lot of people seem to love. I know a lot of people love their caviar sticks. I've kind of come to learn that eyeshadow sticks just aren't for me. Let me know if you guys think there's something from Laura Mercier that I might really love. Next brand, this one I actually considered not even putting on my list because I don't even think that this is one I overlook. I deliberately will probably never buy something from this brand, and it is the brand Tom Ford. Way too pricey for me. I mean, there's a whole list of brands I could put on this list that kind of go into the Tom Ford bucket, like La Mer. I don't think I'll ever try anything out from those brands. If I'm making that much money, I will finally sell my minivan and buy a new car. Tom Ford I just think is like a step above. I mean, I don't mind like a Dior. I can do Dior, even an occasional thing from Pat McGrath, but to do Tom Ford makeup, that's just like basic makeup that's way overpriced to me. I just can't get behind. I don't think I ever will be able to. I feel like I need to hold on to that one because I feel like if I sell out with Tom Ford or La Mer, like I'll lose a part of my soul. That frugal part of me would just shrivel up and die. The next brand I often overlook, but this is one I kind of have some interest in, is the brand Melt Cosmetics. I've heard so many good things about their eyeshadows. You guys know I love eyeshadows. And I've heard Melt Cosmetics make some of the very best. I don't know why I haven't tried one out yet. I think because I just never quite know where to start. Their palettes, like their full-size palettes, are pretty pricey. But looking at some of the stacks that they offer, for how little colors you're getting, they're also quite pricey. So I think the price is really kind of what holds me back on this one and just not knowing where to start really. But this is one I could see myself maybe trying out. So let me know if you guys have any recommendations from Melt Cosmetics down below. Okay, we're putting the glasses on, guys. Sorry, I'm tired of squinting. Okay, the next brand that I tend to overlook, in this one, I find I didn't used to overlook them, but I'm overlooking them more and more now, is the brand Urban Decay. I don't know why, I've just kind of fallen off the Urban Decay bandwagon. I don't know that I was ever fully on it, other than with the Born to Run palette and maybe, oh, it seems like I had something else. I don't even remember what it is, so clearly I was never like a huge Urban Decay fan, but I've kind of lost interest in Urban Decay over the years. Oh, I remember what it is. I do really really like their setting spray. So I will say this is something I would repurchase, including their all-nighter setting spray. But those are kind of functional products. I don't really consider them like fun makeup. It's kind of sad. I'm not really sure why, but I just think other brands have kind of like come in and replaced them over the years. Next brand I tend to overlook is the brand Pure Cosmetics. I actually have owned a few things from Pure Cosmetics. I still have a face palette I got from them in a BoxyCharm like 3 years ago that I still like. I don't use it very often. It often is kind of gathering dust at the back of my shelf, but I do think it's really good. I've enjoyed their eyeshadow palettes before. I don't think I own any of them anymore. A couple of them I got in a BoxyCharm once again. I just never seem to gravitate towards this brand, even though I've heard some really good things about it. I know they have that foundation slash concealer product that a couple years ago they came out with that a lot of people seem to love. I never got around to trying that out. They have a bronzer I know a lot of people love. I also never got around to trying that one out either. But they are a brand that I kind of have some interest in. So let me know if you guys think I really need to try something out from them. They are one I think I could be persuaded to try. Next up is the brand Glossier. This is another one I'm surprised I have not gotten around to trying out Glossier yet. It's probably because they don't have Glossier on Sephora's website or Ulta's website, so I just forget about them because they don't have a Glossier store anywhere near me. And it's not like they're a brand I hear people raving about all the time. I have heard a couple of people say that Glossier makeup is more like, it's very like super natural makeup, which I almost wonder if I wouldn't like it because it's too natural. Like it'd be better if I was like in my teens or my early 20s than for someone that's in her 40s and needs like serious coverage now. They just seem to have that makeup style that's very like boho and like very natural, which I just don't know is very me, as much as I kind of think it would be cool to have that kind of makeup style. I'm just too old to have that kind of makeup style now, but I think their branding is kind of cool. I've thought about doing like a full face of Glossier makeup video, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I don't know how much interest you guys would have in that either, because again, I don't know that you guys are Glossier fans. I don't hear you guys talking about them super often, like in my comment section or when I ask for recommendations. So I don't know. They're one that I would maybe try out someday, but I'm still kind of on the fence about. And similar to Glossier, I feel about the brand Ilia Cosmetics. This is one that you can find at Sephora. I've heard a couple good things about it. They seem to be a little on the pricey side for being like a more natural makeup brand. They don't have a ton of selections. They're not very eyeshadow focused, which again is one of those sad things. That's what usually hooks me on a brand, is I get in there with an eyeshadow palette and then I will try something else out after I've tried an eyeshadow palette. Think Pat McGrath. That's exactly what happened to me with Pat. So maybe that's why Ilia hasn't caught my attention yet. Let me know if you guys think their products are great, if they have something particularly that you think that I would love if you watch my videos and you kind of know my style. I wouldn't doubt that they probably do. It's just, again, one of those things that like they're kind of pricier. I can't try out everything, so they're one that I often kind of deliberately overlook. The next overlooked brand, although not completely overlooked, is the brand Makeup Forever. Now I know they came out with a new foundation, the new Ultra HD, that I think replaced their old HD foundation that I really loved. I'm very interested in trying out this foundation. I don't know that I want to do it quite yet because my foundation drawer I just got cleaned out and kind of cleared some room. I'm trying out my new NARS foundation and I'm pretty content with my foundation collection right now, but it is one that I think maybe in the next like 3 or 4 months I might want to try out. But other than their foundation, I just have never really been interested in trying out some of their other products. I think they're one of those brands that kind of intimidates me because they seem like a very professional makeup brand, which is really silly. But this is just kind of how my mind thinks. Like that's how I thought about them initially, and I just have never kind of gotten over that kind of mind block. I have heard some really good things about the Makeup Forever eyeshadows, but for some reason they kind of intimidate me. I've never really gotten over my intimidation of Makeup Forever, so let me know. Am I being silly? Are there things that I am missing out on? I think this is another one that I could maybe be persuaded on. Alright, we're down to my last one on my list, and it's the brand Wander Beauty. This is a brand I have tried out a mascara from them from a BoxyCharm years ago. I actually really liked it. I've heard a couple of really good things about some of their other products as well, but I just have not gotten around to trying some things out from them. So let me know, am I missing out on the Wander Beauty train? Has that train kind of come and gone? I haven't heard a lot of things from them recently. I don't know if they've had a lot of new releases. I know they had a foundation a while ago that a lot of people seem to really love. I think that one is still available on Sephora's website, so I don't know. Maybe this is one I could also be persuaded on. Alright you guys, and that is it. I think that is all 22 makeup brands that I have overlooked. Hopefully I counted that right. I know that's a lot. Hopefully I didn't talk too much. Hopefully this video is not too long, but let me know again down below, am I missing out on anything from these brands? If you feel very strongly like I really need to try something, I could definitely be persuaded on some of these brands. Let me know if there are makeup brands that you guys tend to overlook. Maybe they're different from mine. Let me know what those are down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Let me give you one more reminder. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing that before you leave. But that's all I have for you guys. Thanks again. I will see you all in my next video. Bye. By the way, do you like these glasses? I can never tell. My oldest son, my 18-year-old, he hates them. Whenever I wear these ones, he's told me like 3 times that I've worn these. He's like, Mom, those glasses make you look like a nerd, like in the worst way, which is so funny because he actually really likes the glasses that people wear around now that have the big clear frames. Those are nerdy glasses. These are like, no, they do kind of look like Revenge of the Nerds. I know it's spring, but you wouldn't think it. Here, it's like 38 degrees today. I have a baseball game to go to. Still got my wool socks on. Wool socks and boots. Considering putting my thermals on, but these jeans are kind of tight. I'm not sure that they'll fit thermals underneath them. Heaven knows I'd rather be warm than look cute.